Hey, how you guys doing? How you guys are doing? My name is Charlie Parks, and I'm the production manager here at Georgia Tax Lien Boot Camp. Shortly, we're gonna have Chantel Owens, our CEO, join us for this live. Are you guys excited for the topic tonight? So we're gonna give Chantel a little moment. But let's see who we have on the line. Okay, everybody saying hey, everybody done jumped on. Okay. So tonight we're going to talk about is now a bad time to purchase tax liens. Do y'all think it's a bad time? Is it a good time? Is it a perfect time? So we're going to get into that shortly. So we have D on the line, our COO, number one. We have Clear View Properties. Okay. So we have quite a few people ready to start to join us live. So we have Clearview Properties. He said it is a perfect time to invest to purchase tax liens. We have legit underscore trail joint. How y'all doing? Okay, so and the reason I'm the production manager and the team, we were like, you know what, we really need to talk about this because everybody have these questions about the market and we really don't know. This is something different that I think almost everybody have seen. So me, I'm a millennial. I haven't been through a market crash yet. So I'm closely paying attention and I'm keeping Chantel close. Like, hey, what do you think is about to happen? So we are really about to get some really great advice from a lady that has been through 2 market crashes. And it was funny because we was on a call with the team and she said, she was like, oh my God, I'm about to go through my 3rd market crash. I feel like I'm getting old. And I was like, wow, a lot of investors that's been successful in this market is really going to test how good of an investor you are, especially as we go through this change we're having soon. Okay, feel like it's the perfect time, but auctions are being delayed. Ooh. So, what county are you investing in? What state are you investing in, and what county? Just underscore J17. Okay, we have Mo Hodges. How you doing, Mo Hodges? This is our Chief Training Officer. So yeah, just underscore J17. What state are you in, and what county are you in? Because I know me and my COO, we called one of the counties here in Georgia, and we confirmed that they're still going to have the tax sale this upcoming April, the first Tuesday. Okay. We have Danielle Winfield Wimberly. She's out in Texas. So we have a good variety of people on the line to join us. So I live in Gwinnett, but no word on the delay yet for them. Yeah, I think this situation going on is fairly new to everybody, so there's going to be a lot of playing it by ear. But like I was saying, me and my COO, we call, and they're still going to have the next tax sale for April. So I think, I know I'm excited because tax lien investing is the best strategy ever. Okay. Okay, we have Julia Standard on the line. So yeah, just stay on the line for a little bit longer. We're gonna have Chantel Owens join us. If I was anybody, I would tune in. As a matter of fact, tell some people about this because I think this is gonna give everybody a direction to go when it's time to start investing in what we don't know what's gonna come soon. What else? Okay, we have real estate underscore Rod. What's going on? Neighborhood underscore nurse. All right. So just to keep you guys updated, we do have a webinar tomorrow. You guys need to be there. Our instructor Maurice Hodges is on the line now. He's going to be doing the webinar. It starts at 7 p.m. tomorrow. You can register. If one of my team members can put in the chat, the link is introwebinar.ga tax lien bootcamp. We have limited spots available because this webinar is going to change your life. And if you haven't attended one of our events or webinars, this is going to set the tone for the rest of your year. Okay. All right. So let's get Sean on the line. Tax lien queen. All right, we're about to get on the line right now. There she goes. What's going on, Chantel?
Hey, Charlie, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Long time no see.
I know you. Hey, I've been seeing you on these meetings all week long. All right, so say hey to everybody on the Instagram live.
Hey, everybody on IG Live. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for
Indeed,
joining
indeed.
us. I'm happy to see y'all.
Awesome. So I'm excited for you to be on the line because we're about to talk about a topic many cannot really talk about, but with your experience and your expertise, I think everybody wants to hear what you have to say. But before we get started,
Don't nobody want to hear what I have to say.
watch. So before we get started, for people that do not know who you are, give us a brief introduction as who you are.
I'm just a country girl from the city, used to invest in tax liens, now I'm teaching other people how to invest in tax liens. That's it.
Okay. So you know what we're
Until you
talking
make
about.
it bad.
Right. So
Can y'all see
so
me? I don't know what y'all can see.
they can see your F-150 and
My baby.
your baby. All right. So let's get into it. So the title of this live is now a bad time to purchase tax liens. So before we get into that, the reason I feel like you are really good for this live is because you have been investing in tax liens for how long now?
Ooh, let's see.
Well, wait. Let me finish. You've been retired for how long, and you invested in tax liens for how long? I'm sorry.
I'm in my second year of retirement from investing in tax liens. Like that's what I used to do as my full-time profession to make money. And I decided I didn't want to do that anymore and actually stop. So, I guess, does that mean I retired from that?
Yeah. Okay, so just to be clear, everybody on the line, Chantel has flipped real estate. She's wholesale real estate. She's been an agent, and she's been in corporate America. So she's been through almost every real estate investment strategy, if not all the real estate investment strategies. But
Not
the one,
all.
not all, but most of them.
I mean, a lot of the popular ones.
Okay, indeed.
I've never done commercial. I've never done storage units, never done
Ooh,
uh, short-term rentals like Airbnb, but I've done your traditional wholesale fix and flip, your creative strategies like subject tos and stuff like that, lease purchases. So I've done all of those.
okay. So let's get right into it. My first question is, do you see the same signs from the last market crash you're starting to see now?
Yes, I mean, for the most part, I was seeing them prior to the current situation that we're in now, which a situation like this could just, um, you know, fast forward or speed that up. So definitely started to see the signs prior, things like, um, money is easy to get. You
Right.
don't have to prove as much to get it. seeing things like, things like in the mortgage industry where you can get a no doc loan.
Right.
You don't need to verify your income. The economy is really good. People are able to purchase higher price homes. Then I started to see that, affordable housing is an issue. So we don't have that, but homes that are 250 and above are starting to sit on the market, for 90 days, where it used to be, they were gone before 30 days with bidding war. So those are all signs, that the market is changing. And I, initially just thought we were going to see a market correction. So not as dramatic as a market crash,
Right.
but more like, just a correction. But I would say the number one sign that I hadn't seen, and so really didn't expect this so soon, is interest rates going up. That's a telltale sign. Like when interest rates start to inch up to like 6-7%, the
Mm-hmm.
market is going to correct itself because people can no longer afford the things that they could when, prices are, or interest rates are at 3-4%. So, but the Fed was doing a good job at correcting it, but they've kind of used all their tricks now. And, with the situation we're in now with the coronavirus, I definitely see us going into, if not a market crash, definitely a recession. Coming out of this, there's a lot of businesses struggling right now. Trust me, I'm a business owner, having the load on your shoulder to carry payroll, but not being able to have people come in, that is it's going to be a backlash. They're expecting unemployment rates to be unprecedented, after this situation. So, so those are the signs. I definitely see the signs now.
Right. So everybody on the line, if you haven't heard it, she telling y'all the signs, so take notes.
And
Um,
this will actually, my team was teasing me. Was it just yesterday? This will be my third market crash. Oh my God. I'm not even old enough to have gone through 3 market crashes. But honestly, you see a market adjustment about every 11 to 12 years. And I think that this one is the longest we do. Can you see me? Am
yeah,
I
I can
having
see you.
internet? Oh, okay. What's up, Big A? Hey, Julia.
Look, we had a whole team on the live tonight. I love it. I love it. Okay, so next question. What can we do to prepare for the market crash as real estate investors?
Well, I mean, what should we have been doing to prepare?
Right, it's kind of too late, right?
No, it's not too late because, with every market crash, there is a period of time, a significant period of time where it levels out, right, before things start to, go back up. So I think you still have time, but what would have been awesome is that me freezing or you, Charlie?
That's you. You in the country. I'm in
I'm
this perfect
freezing.
Wi-Fi. I'm in
Okay,
the perfect
at,
Wi-Fi.
IG audience, tell me who freezing up because I don't on my screen it doesn't look like I'm freezing. I just see the circle on Charlie's part. So that was me or you? I think it was you.
No, neither of you. Kelly Priceman says you are, but I think we good now. I think we good.
Okay. All right.
But
Well,
go ahead.
I don't even, I forget what I was saying. So,
But
I
so
have
I was
that
saying,
habit.
is it? I was saying, so how do you prepare for the market crash, or what can you
Okay.
give advice to? Yeah.
So what we should have been doing is making ourselves liquid, meaning having cash on hand to purchase assets. And if you still can do that, that's awesome, because what we're going to see is what we're already seeing is that people are going to be selling their assets. People panic
Mm.
during these times and they want to have cash on hand. So if anything occurs, they'll be able to survive. So a lot of people panic. And that's what you see happening in the stock market is, um,
Is she freezing again? I think she have an Android. We're gonna have to get the team iPhone. Let's see. Hold on, everybody. When we gonna see again because this is great information. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's give it a minute. So what are let's read through some of these comments. Oh yeah, a lot of these are about her freezing. But I think what she was alluding to is that you want to make sure you are liquid. So when it is time, oh, there she go. Hold on, I was getting nervous. Auntie, come on, Auntie. Auntie, come on
listen,
now.
okay. All right. Um, so did you mention something about my Android?
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
I don't think so. Okay, so
You want to make sure you're
basically,
liquid.
yes, because you want to put yourself in a position to be able to buy these assets on the low. So whether it's stock, when the stock market crash, it's just a bunch of people selling off at one time because they want their cash money in their hand. And they don't know what's going to happen with that company. So they're like, let me pull my cash out so my cash is safe.
Right.
Well, people do the same thing with real estate. They say, let me sell my assets off. And in addition to, you know, um, contrary to popular belief, people will stop paying their mortgages. They want to hold on to their cash. And so, coming out of this, you'll have some people going into foreclosure, um, you know, tax sales. Unfortunately, you'll have people that won't pay their taxes during this time trying to hold on to cash. And, when the market starts to, when the markets open back up, you'll see assets at a lower price.
Okay. That's
So,
that's
so just
great.
putting yourself in a position to be able to buy some of those assets that will, eventually appreciate.
Absolutely. Okay, so earlier before you were online, I asked the main question. Is now a bad time to invest in tax liens with everything going on? So I think right now is a good time to answer that question. And some people say, of course not. It's always the right time to buy tax liens. So let's
I
hear
bet
from,
those people were our students.
let's see, let me scroll all the way to the top. Let's see. Oh, we have a lot of comments. So Jess_J17 says it feels like it's the perfect time, but auctions are being delayed. She's in Gwinnett County. Um, who else? Somebody signed up for the 1 day class coming up. Hey, let's see.
Okay, let me
Uh,
answer this question. Will the 4-4 be rescheduled? No, ma'am. We are moving forward with the April 4th boot camp. And just like that was iRock Real Estate, shout out to you. Just like every other company, we are taking, the safety of our students seriously, and we're moving that online. Now, we know some of you signed up for in-person class, and if you still want to take the in-person class, then we are going to allow you to reschedule to the next class, which is June 13th. And so we're going to do on June 13th, we're going to have a webinar and an in-person class together. So you'll be able to choose, which option, you prefer. So what is that? Oh, okay. So that's what we'll be doing. So no, we're not going to cancel it. We're just going to move the forum. We know that that's not the perfect situation, but in these uncertain times, we just, we have, over 50 students registered for that class right now. And, we just can't take the risk of putting you all in one place and having somebody get sick. And that's on Georgia Tax Lien Boot Camp. So we're moving that to the webinar. And if you feel, that's not the best environment for you to learn in, then we're going to give you options, which is moving it to our next in-person. And, we're just, like every other company, trying to make the best of this situation. So that's what we're doing with that.
Okay, thank you for answering that, Chantel, because I know that that helped a lot of people out. But is now a bad time to invest in tax lien with everything going on?
I mean, right now, if you've ever been interested in tax liens, right now is the time to get yourself situated, meaning getting your money up, getting whatever financing up you can come up with if that's the way you're going to go. And most importantly, getting your education in line so that when these markets open back up, you can rack up. I can tell you that I created my wealth on the after a market crash, and the houses that I were able to buy, that only comes, I guess in my case, twice in a lifetime, but that chance doesn't come around that often. And so you want to be in a position to take full advantage of that. Because when I had a chance to take advantage of it, I really wasn't situated the way I wanted to be. I wish I could have bought more properties during that time, but just to be able to buy, 3 or 4, what made a significant difference in my life and really in the generations to come. It put me in a place to be able to buy, generational assets.
Right. You said a lot, because a lot of people, a lot of my friends, they're like, I need 10 tax liens. Like you said, 3 or 4 can even put you ahead and set you far apart, because tax liens, you're acquiring these properties for literally pennies on a dollar. So it's not like acquiring a property with a mortgage.
Look at little top.
But with your retired tax lien investor, but this market, like you said, after this market crash, are you going to like get back in the game when you see these prices?
I don't know. I might not be able to help myself, I may, buy a couple more assets for my daughter, but my main focus is not on that anymore, So, honestly, I don't know. I'd like to purchase a couple commercial buildings. So, that may occur. And, I'd like to purchase another house to live in. So if I find something that I like, I might do that, but I don't plan to get back into investing full time.
Okay, so let's get this question answered. Do you think a possible market crash will affect hedge fund real estate investment companies?
Definitely, because hedge fund companies are under pressure. They have a direct mandate to perform. So their investors are expecting a return. And it doesn't matter if it's a market crash or whatever. If I put my money in this hedge fund and you promise me, a 10% return, that's exactly what I'm expecting. And so they are under pressure to perform. So it's definitely going to affect them. But at the same time, they may take a initial loss while the markets are scrambling. But once they open back up and assets are cheap, they should be able to recoup and basically bring their investors a higher profit, actually. Because, like I said, it's during these times that people create wealth.
Mm. Okay, so that brings me to my next question. So you've been through 2 market crashes, right? And
Yeah.
so how was you able to bounce back so fast with tax lien investing versus the other ways you were acquiring real estate before?
So I wouldn't even say I was able to bounce back so fast. It still took a while because there's a learning curve there. Coming out of losing everything, I wasn't liquid with cash to really take advantage of it. So it took some time, but had I known what I know now, had I knew the people that I knew now, tax lien would be a very quick way to bounce back because, again, you are able to purchase assets, for pennies on the dollar.
Got you. So, I don't want to take it lightly that, you lost everything. When you say you lost everything, what is everything that you lost? And yeah.
Wow. So the first market crash, I mostly lost my liquidity. So any cash that I had, I lost the assets that I had, which were really liabilities because I had mortgages. Um, I didn't lose my home, but I ended up giving it up because I recognized that having a $400,000 house was not going to get me to where I wanted to be in terms of creating wealth. Y'all see that truck behind me? That's
Yep.
a truck I drive every day. Now, could I afford a more expensive car? Yes. But when you've lost everything twice, you kind of think differently. And so, having a car note is just, even when I was attempted to do it, I just was like, man, anything that I buy, I want it to bring in money, and I'm glad because now I'm in a more liquid position, right? Where, because just because you have net worth, just because you have property, doesn't always mean that you have cash unless you leverage those assets, which, that's a big debate. Half of people say you need to leverage your assets. The other half, says that you don't. It just depends on, your lifestyle and really what you've been through in life. And so for me, after going through 2 market crashes and losing everything, I just wanted to put myself in a position that if there was ever another market crash, I would be okay, and so living that lifestyle for a long period of time, I just became a natural miser, saving every penny that I have to invest again, to re-up. So what was your question again?
Wait, so look, I want you to answer this question. We've been prepping for this a long time. You ready? How many tax lien properties did you acquire that allowed you to retire?
All right. What did we say when we were prepping?
Well, at the
Anyway,
time, 21 Savage song came out, and it was a song that says a lot. But
right. But it was another song. It was another song that we found more appropriate. But anyway, I can't think of it. I wish I would have thought of that. But anyway, so, I mean, to be honest, the lifestyle I live, it could take about 5 properties, to be honest with you. Because 5 properties, if you buy and hold, especially right now, could easily net you $1,000 a month. So average rent in Metro Atlanta is $1,400. You could easily, after taxes, insurance, repairs, vacancy, you could easily bring home $1,000 a month. That's 5 G's a month. Like, some people can't live off of that because they have not learned how to live. But for me, I live my lifestyle on that, and I travel, I do what I want to do, but I don't live an extravagant lifestyle. So I'm not into name brand stuff. I don't drive a name brand car. I don't live in a big fancy house. And for me, that's okay. And I'm not knocking if people want that lifestyle, but just be able to afford the lifestyle. Don't leverage yourself, meaning you have to take out a lot of debt to live that lifestyle. For me, what I like is my number one thing is being able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. I was just telling D, our COO, we just got back from the ocean. Literally just pulled up. That's why I'm outside.
And I couldn't go.
Well, you might have another chance, because I was just telling her, like, can we go somewhere else now? Because we're just going to be in the house. Let's go somewhere else. And so we're literally right now planning another trip. So that's all I need in life, is to be able to do that, to be able to go out to eat, do things I want to do, to be able to buy gifts for family and friends. If my family and friends need me, to be able to travel, to be there. And to travel, that's the life I love. Those things that bring me experiences, that I enjoy, which I don't really enjoy. Like, I don't really care. Like, my worth is not tied to buying, $1,000 purse.
Right.
My worth is not tied to, living in a big fancy house, especially because I know that I could do that if I wanted to. So I've done that, and none of that brought me any happiness. So I'm kind of over that, and just really, the thing that brings me the most satisfaction now is, building a business, building a team, and really helping other people, being able to being able to live the life they want to live. I'm not going to say, I wanted to say being able to tell corporate America deuces, but that's not for everybody. I get it. But for the people who want that, I enjoy helping them get there.
Yeah. I mean, how does that feel? I mean, I've been with you for about two years, and we get these emails and these
You
posts
grew up
about.
with me?
I grew up with you, Auntie, and the other aunties. But we see like these success stories all the time. Like, people can literally take our class and leave and go to the auction, depending on which boot camp they take, but they're getting properties for like 3,800, and they're changing their lives and creating generational wealth. Like, you are like changing lives, and your company is changing lives. Like,
We're doing things.
you're doing things. So when people start asking you how many properties have you bought, you can even mention how many properties have you helped people buy through your education. And I don't think anybody is doing that with their classes, because we're teaching people how to fish. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah, I
wanted
mean,
to.
it makes me feel good. I mean, that's why I do it. I mean, a lot of days it's hard and I want to quit, but ultimately, when those students come and say, look what I did, or a student comes and say, I'm so excited, I know that this is going to change my life. I mean, you just can't beat that feeling.
Right. Absolutely. So,
I
you
mean,
know,
even I get more excited and more emotional about that than winning a tax lien property. Now that's exciting, but I don't remember showing that excitement. I remember being like, comatose, but not really like emotional. But when students, when I, especially when you create the videos, man, those videos just hit me in the heart. A lot of times my eyes tear up. I don't know. It's just something about that.
all right. So, really quickly, tell me about the first time you won your first tax lien property. Like, were you emotional? Were you scared? Were you nervous?
Well, I'm a naturally, I've lived under a lot of pressure my whole entire life. I grew up in Milwaukee, so shout out to Milwaukee. If you know about Milwaukee, Milwaukee is the north side of Milwaukee. Milwaukee is very segregated. So the north side of Milwaukee is,
I went up there.
really.
Look,
Let me just say, I grew up in the projects. right? And so just under that pressure, it taught me a lot about life, you know. And so I'm living in the projects will teach you how to keep your emotions in check. So you understand how to be cool, calm, collective. And so I don't know, you know, like inside I'm jumping up and down, doing cartwheels, you know, but on the outside I'm just like, my face is straight. I got my poker face on. And that's, you know, as I look back at the auction, is Adrian on here? He was with me at my first auction. He could maybe testify. I don't remember like showing any
emotions.
Yeah. So I love when my students show that, because it's almost like I get to live through them. So yeah. But I definitely was excited.
Yeah. And so throughout these years, you and your team, you guys have streamlined the process. And the way you
and your
teach,
team, you guys.
well, you know, I gotta be an interviewer too. I gotta be. You said ninja, but when you're teaching, like, you're the hardest instructor I think anyone has had, because
I'm a drill sergeant.
You are a drill sergeant, and you don't let anything pass. You're so precise with terminology, and I think when people leave that class, they're like, they understand how important everything we teach in the class is, how you need to grasp those concepts. But
I don't think they quite get it in class. I think it's once they're on their own, they can appreciate more, you know, the firmness, you know. And I do it out of love, because I understand what's needed out here, what they're going to encounter, you know, things that I wasn't privy to have somebody teach me, that I had to learn on my own. So, you know, I just try to be a stickler for that. So, you know, I'd rather for me to be hard on them than these streets to be hard on them.
You did. Okay. So for everybody that's on the line right now, I need a big favor. I need you to share one tax lien secret to get people started today. Just one. And I know D right there, but
yes, let me show y'all her face. she running, so I'm gonna show her face.
Be careful with the secret. Be careful with the secret.
One tax lien secret.
Before I give a secret, I used to give away a lot of gems, and what I realized is that if people just give away diamonds, rubies, people don't value them. You know, it's like giving away salt. You know, they're like, oh, it's not worth nothing. But when people have to work for that knowledge or pay for that knowledge with their hard-earned money, they remember the knowledge, they take it in, they use it, right? So that's really important to me, because I believe in an equal exchange, you know. And so if I'm pouring out everything and nothing is being returned, then I feel like, okay, or it can make a person feel like they're not being valued. And so then it's I'm sorry, my godmother was texting me. It's you know, it leaves you feeling empty and used if people don't reciprocate. So before I drop any secrets, I need some comments. I need some hearts or something. I hate that I have to act. No, we have gotten some hearts, so I'm not gonna say that. But you know, I always ask for something in exchange for giving something. So I just believe in reciprocity and karma. So, you know, I don't see no hot heart popping up in here, no questions dropping. So
let's get some hearts, y'all. Cause she would not drop a secret for real. Oh. And look, and they our branding colors.
Ooh, I love it. I'm feeling loved. All right. Let's see what good secret I can give y'all. I'm caught off guard and I'm under pressure over here. Let's see.
Look, Shavika said the secret is to sign up for the boot camp.
Oh, yeah. So I got to talk about that. So I have to be extremely careful about giving secrets out because I have students that have paid for these secrets, right? Somebody said, "What's the biggest lesson learned while purchasing a tax lien?" Okay, we can talk about that. How many tax liens have you acquired? Enough. That's a joke, Shannon. So a couple things. I'm gonna answer that question first. So, I as Chantel Owens do not purchase tax liens. My companies and my trust funds purchase tax liens. So let me state that because I am being recorded. So that being said, as a board member of those companies, I have signed a non-disclosure. So I do not tell people how many properties, those companies have purchased. But let's just say it's enough. A couple times that 5 I need. So let me just say that. Is that good enough?
I think
So
that's pretty good.
let me ask you this, because people always ask me that, and I would be like, what would be enough to be impressive? Because for me, if I say 5, people should be impressed, right?
Right.
Or no? Is that not impressive?
I mean, that's impressive to me.
No? Is 5 impressive?
Is
What
5
about
impressive,
10?
y'all?
What about 10? Would 10 be okay?
It was 10, right.
What about 15? 20? Could I stop there?
They quiet.
I mean, I just don't know. I don't know where to stop, and then at the same time, I don't want to intimidate people so they feel like, oh, I could never do that,
Right.
Anyway, you think 10 plus? Okay, I can say 10 plus. She said she would need more than 5 to retire. So I would challenge. I don't know your situation. I don't know what your goals or what you're looking to do, but I'm gonna, especially because I believe either you're taking or you're taking or thinking about taking our class. So I'm gonna challenge you on that. 5 properties is $60,000 a year, right? Net. That's what you bring home, right? So if you retired, you wouldn't have gas. You wouldn't have all the eating out. You wouldn't have to buy as much clothes. Now, this is depending on your lifestyle, right? And you could spend all your efforts in creating more, right? So if you got 5 and it allowed you to leave whatever your situation is, that's if you're not unhappy. I mean, if you're unhappy in that situation, if you're stressed out, the benefits to your health, if $60,000 net would allow you to leave that, you could double that in no time. But if you stay in your situation, it's going to take you way longer to get to double that amount. So I always like to challenge people on that because I live a really good life on that $60,000. I don't even think I use all that up.
That's deep.
So, and then that's about, and that I still can invest with that. I can travel with that. I don't really want for nothing with that. Now that's not what I make. that's what I probably make less than that on paper. After my accountant do what he do. But anyway, anyway, so what else? What was the other comments? Let's see. Do I purchase through a self-directed IRA? No, I personally don't, because I didn't work in corporate America long enough to have IRA to roll over when I first started investing. So what I did, because I didn't even know about an IRA, to be honest with you, at that time. Now, I recommend that. I actually recommend 401k or a qualified retirement plan. But that being said, when I used rental properties as my retirement plan.
Okay.
So I never, by the time I just learned about IRAs about 2 years ago, like using that as a vehicle to invest in tax liens. Shout out to Mike Ventry, because he was the one who really kind of introduced that to me. So
Absolutely. All
she
right.
didn't work in corporate law. No, I didn't. That was one of my old bosses.
Will there be a replay?
What does that mean?
They may want to he may want to watch this. Do you want to watch this live again?
If Charlie saves it, yeah.
Right.
Does a person need a significant amount of capital stacked after they win a tax lien purchase? No, but you do need some money stacked, because is that a secret? Okay. Because you're going to have expenses after you purchase that tax lien. So you're going to have subsequent taxes, and then you're going to have some legal processes after that, in order to actually hold the title free and clear. So yes, I wouldn't say it's significant. I mean, and that's kind of relative, but you're going to need some change to maneuver that tax lien.
Right. Okay. So my last question, and I know they want some more, but they're gonna have to come to the webinar tomorrow that starts at 7 p.m. So if you lost it all today, would you be able to get back to where you are?
What? Because I'm a hustler, baby. Of course. I mean, I've been through 2 market crashes. So, in my life, I've faced a lot of worst case scenarios. And so for me, it's just like when if a person ever does fix and flip and they've never done a full gut, that full gut is so intimidating until you actually do it. And then now you're like, man, this is all I want to do, because you find that reward. And so for me, I'm like Master P. You could drop me off in Israel and I'm gonna come up, because that's just who I am. I'm always gonna be a middleman. I'm always gonna see how I could buy something cheap and sell it for a profit. So that's just my nature, But that being said, I would always choose real estate over anything, because I feel like it's the quickest way. Now, it may be some more ways, but it's a proven track record. Even in hard times, real estate, still creates wealth. And I'm sure many people have heard the saying that, 90% of millionaires became so through real estate. Now it's some other markets, like Black women's hair. I'm considering that market, because
Okay.
that's a significant market. But definitely, and I always like to tell people always find this very interesting. I have never been in love with real estate. Like I'm not one of those people, and that's why I wanted to retire, because now there's some moments that I enjoyed. I do get some satisfaction out of, seeing a house, go from one state to another, just being able to create assets. But I enjoy teaching way more. I enjoy building a team, a company with processes and strategies way more than I ever loved the actual act of investing in real estate. So just being able to do what I love now is really just a blessing to me.
Absolutely. I may get in trouble for this, but can I end the webinar by by using your gavel?
No, go ahead, Charlie. Go ahead, get that in.
All right, so look, if you got
gavel. My team bought me that gavel, y'all. Love it. Oh, D said show him the other one, the one that matters. That's the one Julia like. I mean Julia, sorry, D. That's the one she likes. I'm partial to the smaller one.
All right, so let's get a last couple questions in. So, do you buy tax lien homes in other markets besides Georgia? Our
I
students.
haven't, but I would.
Okay.
The reason why is I'm lazy, to be honest with you, and belly full, and just wanted my properties around me easier to get to, and I take the path of least resistance, but totally open to properties, tax lien properties in other areas.
Awesome. Okay, guys. If you guys want to learn,
I got a question for them.
okay.
If this is a if, y'all.
If
I know
if
y'all change stuff. The next thing you know, it's rumors out in the street. But I want to know if we created a tax lien fund, would you invest? That's what I want to know. I don't see nobody saying nothing.
repeat the question again and
If we
explain
started
the fund for those that don't understand.
a pot that you could put money in, and then we would take it, invest in tax liens, you would get your money back out the pot plus interest. Would you be willing to invest?
All right. Yes, absolutely. They waiting on us. We got to change these lives.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just seeing, I'm just trying to see what's out there, so I'm just getting ideas.
I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what would be I'm trying to see how much they would invest. Look, I got party pooper over here talking about keep it moving. I'm just trying to get an idea. Like, would you invest 2,500, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000? I'm trying to see what type of fund I can create if it's worth my while.
Right.
Anybody? Of course. Okay. No.
50K.
Okay. All right. Look, Julia, write that name down, please.
Write that name. We contact you.
All right. No, just coming up with some ideas, trying to grow and scale, moving on from just too high right now. Fun is not if you would buy tax liens, because they may be too high for you, but I get them on a low.
I would like to get an affiliate marketing code.
I got good questions would be, what would be the ROI? Well, depending on how much people willing to invest, I'm sure we would probably stair step it. If you invest in 5, you might get a lower ROI than if you invest in 100,000. So, all right, will we sell it? Well, we would have options. I don't know. We might sell some, keep some, develop some. We might do some development. All right, well, I just wanted to see. Okay. All right, I got it. I just wanted to see if the interest was out there and, if I should even look in that direction and if I should just go back to the.
So how do they get started with learning about tax liens?
So, with us, the first thing that you would have to do is you would have to take our introductory boot camp. And that is because we want to make sure, one, you have a solid foundation to start with. 2, we want to make sure that this is something that you really want to do. Because we really only want to teach students that want to learn, that are excited about investing in tax liens. So you would have to take that. And in order to take that introductory boot camp, we have Julia. Oh, our team is so fly. Y'all see how she dropped that at the right moment? She was waiting. So, can we pin that comment? Oh, Charlie, you have to drop it and pin it because the person.
I just did.
You did? Okay. All right. Oh, you pinned it. Oh, you pinned her. Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still learning how these things work. So we pinned the URL to sign up for the webinar. Now, folks, this is free. All it requires is an investment in time. It's a 2.5, might be 3
our webinar, but we give away a lot of information in that webinar, and you get to decide if you want to take one of our more classes in which we information on how to invest in tax liens, or we guide you step by step on how to do that. We hold your hand. So we have, a couple advanced classes depending on how you learn, how you want to learn, and what type of investment you want to make. So hope to see you all. That's tomorrow. We have a webinar tomorrow, Wednesday, March 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're not able to access the link here, you can click the link in our bio, go to our link tree. You can see one of the flyers in our timeline. We're everywhere on social media. Please, you can follow my personal page, sunshine.owens. Follow this page, GA Tax Lien Bootcamp. We're on Facebook, GA Tax Lien Bootcamp. We're on LinkedIn, Twitter, Google. Matter of fact, Julia, could you drop that Google review? Oh, I want to get him a secret. Did I get him a secret? No, I didn't get him a secret. See, I like keeping my word. Your word is important, boy. All right, a secret. Let me see. A secret. Okay. How about how to funding for tax liens? Is that good enough of a secret?
We're going over that tomorrow.
Oh, so you mean something we're not talking about tomorrow? We talk about. Let me see.
I think you did give away a secret.
What did I give away?
The secret is to sign up for the intro webinar, and tomorrow.
So what if it's not a tax lien secret? What if it's just fine, like some business, real estate type secrets? Would that work?
Yeah.
No. Is that no to something else I said? Oh, I think they might be delayed where they say I didn't give the secret. I think that's what that is. All right. So let's see. This is not a secret, but definitely a suggestion. If you start a business, you need a business email. That's very important. That's going to take you so far, which rolls into my next secret. You need a business email that does not say Gmail or Yahoo, but says yourbusiness.com. And let me tell you why that's important. One, because your clients are going to see you as a bona fide business. Whereas if you have Gmail, I have so many people that approach me, oh, let me do your marketing, let me do your this, and then they have a Gmail. How are you going to do my marketing with a Gmail account? That's what I want to know. So I'm going to take you a little bit more serious if you have a business.com. And I've heard a couple people's feelings with that, but in the end, they came back and said, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. So that being said, that takes me into business credit. When you apply for business credit, these companies actually look your business up. And if the first thing they see is yahoo.com, I'm not saying you can't get credit, because if your personal credit is good, then you can personally guarantee your business credit. Right. But at some point, you want your business credit to stand on its own. And when you do, you definitely have to have a business email address. You need to have a business phone number, not your cell phone number. You need to have a business address. Now, some people do have a home-based business, but it is so much better to have a business address. And there's many ways that you can get a business address.
All right, you give away all the gems.
Right. So you can, nowadays you can have a P.O. box and it come with an address. You can have a UPS and it come with an address. You can have a virtual office. You don't even have an office, but a building will let you use that address. So you need those things if you want to establish business credit. In addition to, you do not need to do business in your name if you own assets. You want to have an entity that owns those assets, so that if somebody sues you, if something happens, then it's attached to that entity and not your personal assets. So you need all of those things. In addition to, anybody who's going to give you credit, they want to more than likely see that.
Hello. I don't know what happened. The Instagram just completely shut off. Hopefully we can get Chantel Owens back online. I don't know what happened. The live just cut off. I don't know. Oh my goodness, that was getting so good. Let's see. We about to get.
Can you see me?
We don't know what happened. We apologize for that.
We can't hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so we got people coming back on. That's good.
So I think they said we ran out of time. Were you able to save that video?
It cut right off, but I can screen record it, and we're gonna send it out as an email tomorrow. Oh, okay. It's limited time. You surpass. Okay, 1 hour time frame on IG. Thank y'all.
Hour, Jesus. We got new people on now.
Right. So, do you remember where you left off? Anybody can?
Now, you know, I don't remember where I left off. It's a running joke in our company.
Jesus. Let me put the Jesus. It felt like a movie.
I'm looking just like my daughter right now, boy. Giving those secrets. What was I saying? Oh, I was telling about the business credit.
You're talking about having a different business address, because when you're trying to get business credit, all those things. Oh my goodness. We're giving the whole class.
That's the last thing they heard was an email? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me see if I can remember. So not only do you have to have a business email, you have to have a business address. You have to look. Okay, so you have to have a business email. You have to have a business address. Mm-hmm. So not your home address. You can get away with your home address, but what you will see is your limits will not be as high. And you want high limits, right? So, and not that you want to use up all your limits, but it's always good to have them, because what creditors do is they look at your limits. So let's say you have a card with a limit of $10,000.
Right.
When you apply for your next card, guess how much they're going to give you?
How much?
$10,000. So you won't be able to get your limits higher. So, if you have an actual business address, then people see you as a bona fide business, just like with the business email. So you need a business phone number, which is not your cell phone number. So when you're filling out the business application, they're going to ask you what your cell phone number is. And so if you have the same number for your cell phone as you do for your business address, then that, they see you as a higher risk. Mm-hmm. And so, and then also you want to have an entity. So you don't want to be doing business as a sole proprietor. You want an entity, a LLC. So somebody said physical or PO box. So you can get a business address from the post office. So if you get a PO box, it actually comes with a business address.
Right.
Well, I'm sorry, an address. Now, that being said, some more sophisticated lenders, or let's say like American Express or Chase, they will recognize that address as a PO box, even though it's an address. So, you know, I always suggest, you know, getting a virtual office. If you don't want to get a physical office, you could get a virtual office where a building, an office building, will allow you to use their address, but you don't actually have an office there. You just pick up your mail there. You know, the company doesn't know that. Or you can do a shared space, you know, like if you do need office space, but you can't afford a bona fide office, you can do a shared space.
Right.
You know, you see the office that we're in, that's a very small space. I'm not interested in paying a bunch of money for office space, because most of the time we're virtual. I'm in the office maybe two or three times a month. So, you know, if you need the office space though, you may start off with a shared space, and that will also give you an address. So, Charlie, don't show our messy office, please.
I'm not. Look, so you done gave them an introductory class to business credit.
Right.
So
I'm going to be creating that class soon. Let me tell y'all what classes I'm going to create. I'm going to create credit repair, but I'm going to create an advanced credit. So, because you can only get so far with repairing your credit. You can get up to like 7, maybe 720. But beyond that, you have to know some advanced credit techniques to get, you know, further than that. So if y'all want to join me in the 800 club, yes, I have 800 credit scores, and I'm proud to say that because it took me a while to get there. Look, she's like, please don't tell them. I'm going to create an advanced credit class. I'm going to create a business credit class. I'm going to create a property management class. I'm going to create a room and house class. What other classes should I create?
a buy and hold landlord class.
Yes. Buy and hold class. Oh, real estate math class. Y'all need to know real estate math. Y'all out here buying properties and don't know real estate math. Now, let me not say that, because that sounds a little judgmental. And I once was buying properties and didn't know real estate math, and so really didn't fully understand how to analyze a deal, make sure it's a good deal. And come to Philly. Okay, I'm coming. You know, really didn't know how to analyze a deal. Didn't know, you know, knew basic math, knew how to figure out, but really didn't know how to use the numbers. Even while I was in the deal, didn't know how to see if I was still on budget and all those things. So, you know, so I can create that class. I got a lot of classes in my head that I want to teach and give out. You know, we have a CE school. So if you're a real estate agent, these classes will be, look at our COO. She's so COO-ish, boy. That's why you gotta love her. Me, I'm a CEO all up in the clouds, and she trying to pull me back down to the ground. Can we discuss the webinar? The webinar is awesome. Mo Hodges, big shout. Hey Mo. Big shout out to Mo. You should bring Mo on. I'm gonna get off and let you bring Mo on. Mo is gonna be teaching that class. He's awesome. I'm gonna speak a little bit to your hearts tomorrow. And Dee, our COO, who's telling me to talk about the class, she's gonna be, you know, if you're interested in learning about our advanced classes, she's gonna talk about that. So we have a whole team, y'all. I love our team. You know, we have Danielle in marketing. We got Julia in client experience. Like if you register, you're gonna definitely meet Julia. We got Kat in client experience all the way in the Philippines. That's if you call in, that's who you're gonna talk to. We have Ella in the Philippines. She's my executive assistant, me and Dee's executive assistants. We got Bea in the Philippines. She works with Charlie in marketing. You know, they do all of our Facebook posts, you know, they talk to you on Facebook. So don't be sending crazy stuff to my DM because I'm probably not likely gonna see it. But then we have Noman in Pakistan. He does all of our development, automation. So we have an amazing team. And the team is really dedicated to helping 1,000 families achieve financial freedom. We talk about that all the time. That's our mission, and we're out here every day trying to do that. So big shout out to our team. Shout out to Charlie. He brings all the videos that you see. Do y'all like our videos? I know they fly. Thank you, Charlie.
More coming soon.
Awesome.
More coming soon.
Because you get to learn about tax liens from, you know, your home. So you know, hopefully you go ahead and sign up. So